The royals show some birthday love for Meghan Markle as we learn that Harry has always felt like the spare to William's heir.
It goes beyond just feeling like he's the spare to William's heir. It goes to being the third wheel when they were in outings with Kate, you know, making public appearances where it's your brother, his wife, and then it's just you. Like, what am I doing here?
Plus, William and Kate take a family vacation and get a little competitive at the arcade. Plus, former royal chef Darren McGrady reveals Harry and William's favorite foods and what Princess Diana was like in the kitchen. What were some fun things that she liked to cook in the kitchen with Harry and William?
And the princess was an awful cook. She didn't like to cook at all in the kitchen.
We've got that plus so much more in today's Royally Us. Hello to our fellow royal lovers and welcome to Royally Us. I'm Christina and I am so excited to be joined once again by KRISTEN MEINZER. She, of course, is an author, a writer, and host of the podcast When Harry Met Meghan that documented the lead up to the royal wedding. Hi, KRISTEN.
Hi, I'm so excited to be back, Christina. Thanks for having me again.
To be back. And I don't know if you saw any of the comments in the YouTube section, but everybody was loving you last week.
Oh, yay, hooray. I love all of you.
So KRISTEN's going to help me break down everything. We have a couple new excerpts from Finding Freedom, so that we have to get to Kate and William's big vacation, plus them in the arcade. So we got a lot to get to. But before we do that, of course, we want to highlight some of our royal viewers, our royal watchers, who, like always, have a ton of comments, and we keep on appreciating them. So first one goes to Jermaine, says, people should respect both couples, William, Kate, and Harry and Meghan. Every family has issues, and I believe it's hard for all of them. I totally agree with that.
Oh, absolutely. We all have our issues. As I was saying last time I was on, we can't always expect sisters-in-law to be best friends. We can't expect every couple to, be perfect all the time. I'm not.
No,
not at all.
Definitely not. Every family has their gripes, and the royals are just like us. So
yes.
We wouldn't expect anything at less. All right, next one is from Papa Pie. Says, I love KRISTEN. She has such energy and is factual based. I too look forward to reading Finding Freedom. Just a couple more days. Can't wait. I told you, KRISTEN, everybody was loving you.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it.
Of course. And last one from Linda. If Harry wants to be seen as an adult taking care of his family, why is he letting his father support them? Time for him to pay his own way. Well, I feel like that's what they are trying to do.
Oh, absolutely. They've made that clear. They're trying to make their own way, but it's not something that's going to happen overnight. And I would like to remind folks that a lot of other members of the royal family have kind of a mix of, let's look at Beatrice and Eugenie, for example. They are working royals, but they also have their own jobs. So they're doing a little bit of both. And I think Harry and Meghan are making that transition themselves. So it's to be applauded, not to criticize them for not doing it fast enough, I think.
Yeah, and I think we probably would have gotten some more answers as to what they plan on doing, but obviously the whole pandemic happened, so they had to kind of sideline some of their plans. But like we said, I think the Archwell charity is probably going to be announced within the next few months, I would imagine, and then we'll kind of get an idea of what they have going on in the future.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to hearing more about everything they're up to, as the whole world is, right?
Oh, totally. Of course. Okay, so let's move on to our royal news, our royal roundup. And like always, the royals have been keeping very busy, but it was a big birthday for Meghan. She celebrated her 39th birthday, and she got some love from the royal family, right?
Yes, she did. I was so thrilled to see that.
Me too.
Yes, I follow all the royals on Instagram. It was great to see, Kensington, Buckingham Palace, all of them celebrating Meghan. She is still clearly a member of the family. Obviously there were some comments from haters saying she doesn't deserve a happy birthday if she's no longer a senior member of the family, but she's still a member of the family, and I was thrilled to see them acknowledging her because, why wouldn't you acknowledge your sister-in-law or daughter-in-law or whatnot?
And they know if they didn't acknowledge it, it would have been a whole other story. Oh my God, it would have just been bananas.
Yes.
But I'm not going to lie, it was like one of the first things I did on the morning of her birthday was to check to see if they wished her a happy birthday, and they did. So
yes, I was thrilled to see that. And I think not everybody realizes how many other famous people have been born on the same day as her. So the Queen Mum was also born on the same day. So there was a shout out to her as well. And then I saw a lot of posts online because it was Barack Obama's birthday too. So I saw posts that included Barack and Meghan, and I was thrilled to see those as well.
Definitely good company.
Yes, yes.
So we are also getting word on how Meghan celebrated her big birthday. We hear that they kept it a little low key. She just hung out with Doria, Archie, and Harry. and she wants to throw a big, big birthday party for her 40th. So this one was a little bit low key. So what did Harry get her? Well, we hear that he got her a necklace, a framed photo of themselves, and gave her a big chocolate cake. Now, her mom, Doria, actually watched Archie at night so they could enjoy a private romantic dinner together, and Harry cooked a 3-course meal. We hear that he's been getting much better in the kitchen since Meghan came along. And I'm sure that they also spent some time with their puppy Pula, and we actually found out that this actually has a very special name, a special meaning. So after 2 years, we finally found out the name of their puppy.
Yes, it does. So Pula is the currency of Botswana, which is the nation where Harry famously brought Meghan for their, well, depending on how you count dates, their third or fourth date.
Mm-hmm.
It also is a word that means rain in a place that doesn't get a lot of rain. It means something very, very precious. And so for their lab to be named something that essentially means something very precious, it's very sweet. It's very sentimental. I love it. I think it's so great.
Too. Oh, I love it. We need some more pictures of the puppy and Archie, just saying.
Oh yes, more dog pictures, more baby pictures all the time.
Exactly. Please, that's what we need in 2020. Please, I just need a little bit of light. All right, we're gonna get to more of Harry and Meghan in just a bit, but we have to check in with some other members of the royal family. And Kate and William have been busy playing some games. So take a look at this.
Oh, dropped it.
I love seeing this because I feel like Kate has a really competitive side.
Yes, I think so too. I don't think she holds back. We've seen it in a few different instances. She's not afraid to run fast if the situation calls for running fast. She's not afraid to, put her weight into it if she needs to get that claw onto that toy and grab that toy. She's going to do it, and she's going to have a great time doing it.
Yeah. So what was this all about? Because it looked like they had a great time.
Yeah. So this was part of their efforts in Wales to show, look, some of these tourist attractions are opening back up again. Look, let's celebrate what they're doing. We know it's been a tough time now. Let's showcase their work. And, let's get back to normal to a certain extent. Let's be safe about it, but let's get back to normal in certain ways and support the small businesses and the different communities around the UK. And so this was in Wales.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw a day earlier, Kate was also supporting babies, and she, which is a huge initiative for her. She was at the baby bank in Yorkshire, where she was put to work pretty much. She was seen lifting these heavy boxes, but of course this was also for another good cause.
Yes, absolutely. And, she got gloved up, masked up, had an apron, carrying goods that were donated by a number of different organizations to help families in need, families who have small children, who have babies. And this donation center, she spoke about being really crucial, especially during this time, and that all families need to be supported. And so she was thrilled to be a part of this organization and to get her hands dirty, if you will.
Yeah, I love in the video, you see her, she's like, oh, this is pretty heavy.
Yes, we're not gonna just do an empty box here to put on a photo shoot. No, we're gonna actually have you lift real stuff.
Yep, you got to get your hands dirty. All right, well, the Queen has been busy over the past few months. She has been doing nonstop Zoom calls, addresses to the nation. She knighted somebody. She had her granddaughter's wedding, but she's taking a little time for a little rest and relaxation with Prince Philip.
Yes. Well, every summer she and Philip, usually starting in mid-July, go to Balmoral, which is her favorite place in the world, supposedly. It's rumored to be in Scotland, where they just relax and enjoy the grounds and do all the things that royals do when they're, at another castle, leaving one castle and going to another castle. And, they haven't been certain if they'd be able to do that with COVID. They're at a very at-risk age group. They're both in their 90s. They're not spring chickens. Yeah. And but it is now understood that they're going to be there in August. So they will be able to enjoy a little bit of time in Balmoral as usual. Not quite as much time as usual, but they will be able to enjoy themselves there.
Yes, I like that there were some photos of them getting off the plane. She had her dogs in tow.
Yes.
So of course she can't go anywhere without the pups. But this arrival was a little different because usually they have the Queen inspects the guard at the honor and everything like that. So obviously things have to change up a little bit this year.
Yes, got to keep it safe. And, as I just said, they're in their 90s. I mean, all of us have to keep it safe, but especially people of that age group.
Right. They are definitely taking all the proper precautions. All right, let's move on because it is time to spill the royalty. And like I said, we are getting some new excerpts from Finding Freedom. And I don't know about you, Kristen, but I'm literally counting down the days. I cannot wait to get my hands on this book.
I cannot wait. All the excerpts I read just make me thirstier and thirstier for this thing.
Totally.
I need it. I need it. I can't wait.
I can't wait. So a royal insider told Us Weekly this week that in the book, we're going to learn a little bit more about Harry, how Harry has felt like a spare to William's heir. Now, we have learned about this over the years a little bit, but it seems like this is really being brought to light yet again. Saying that he kind of always lived in his brother's shadow, which is kind of hard when your brother is about to will be king in the future.
Yes. And I mean, it goes beyond just feeling like he's the spare to William's heir. It goes to being the third wheel when they were in outings with Kate, you know, making public appearances where it's your brother, his wife, and then it's just you. Like, what am I doing here? What is the point? Is this just you throwing me a bone and, you know, letting me tag along with you? What, you know, and he felt like the gooseberry, which is a term that I love that term, you know, the third person on a date. And so he frequently felt that way. And, you know, he really, once he met Meghan, said that gave him a space that was uniquely his. He no longer felt like the third wheel once she was there because it helped him to step out on his own. And I'm so happy for him that he met her. They're clearly in love. They're a great match, but also she's done so much for him to help him, you know, realize his own place and space in the world and to be independent and to stand on his own.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I couldn't imagine growing up like that, knowing that, you know, your brother is going to be king. And then you're like, well, what do? I have to find my own place in the world. And like you said, it didn't seem like it really affected his relationship with Kate back in the day. It seemed like they always got along really well.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, all of the film and video footage of the two of them, it seemed like they would joke around a lot. There would be ribbings, like they were very good friends, it seemed like, which I thought was terrific. It's great when your sibling marries somebody you actually like.
Right. Yeah, oh, totally. Well, I mean, that kind of brings us into the next question, because since Meghan came along, you know, I mean, based on the book, it seems like that's what kind of tore the relationship apart between William and Harry.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's
sadly,
probably not what he wanted, because now you said, you know, he wanted to find his own lane and hoping that, you know, they could have all worked together, which they tried to do with their charity in the beginning.
Yeah, that would have been great. I mean, one thing I think about when it comes to William and Harry, William is, in addition to being, you know, the heir, he is also older, he's more cautious, he moves more slowly. So, you know, but you know, not everyone's going to be like him. Not everyone is going to spend 10 years courting a girl before you marry her. Yeah. And for him to say to Harry, you got to slow down with this girl, I think is not realistic, because we were talking about Harry and Meghan in their 30s. Right. They were not teenagers who met and fell in love. And so, you know, I think William's cautiousness doesn't necessarily match the situation that Harry and Meghan were in, but I can also see where Harry would have been really put off by the advice that William was giving that was best applied to himself, not applied to Harry. Yeah.
Totally. I totally agree with you, because, you know, William and Kate met when they were at college, like in their early 20s. So they were,
and you should take it slowly then if you meet in college. Yeah.
Right.
But not two people in their 30s. They know themselves.
Yeah, they know what they want. They're ready to start their lives as soon as they meet the right person. Well, also in an excerpt from the book, we find that, you know, some people weren't too fond of the fact that Meghan really stood out in the crowd.
Yeah, and stood out is, you know, depending on how you read it, it could be very much coded as just a racist statement, saying she stands out too much. She's too assertive. She's too, you know, things that in our world, we, you know, in the US, where it's like, yes, work ethic, work hard, be strong, be independent. There are certain things like that that when said in the royal sphere are really just saying, she doesn't belong here. She is not like us. Right. She's clearly working class, and she's clearly something else, which, let's be real, is racist.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, then they even took aim at the fact that, like, you know, she would wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning and send emails and send texts just to get her day started. I mean, that's something like, I mean, I don't know about you, but the first thing I do when I wake up, you got to check your phone and see what's going on. So, I mean, maybe just, you know, how she was brought up and, you know, what she does, because she's been working her whole life. So this is just the norm for her.
Yeah, I love that that would be an insult. Oh, she
You
works
know,
hard.
right?
And now she's being criticized for stepping back from working as a royal, so she can't win. It's
Right.
either
Yeah.
she's working too hard or she's not working enough. Make up your minds, critics.
Make up your minds. Well, we also learned in the book that the queen, you know, is leaving the door open if they want to return. Now, we kind of knew this because this is kind of a 1-year trial period, to say the least, you know, to see if they like being back in LA, you know, out of the royal fold, but she will leave the door open if they choose to come back.
Yes, and I think that's fantastic. And I already mentioned Beatrice and Eugenie, and I just want to say again, my dream would be that Harry and Meghan would be able to do what they do, because
Yeah.
they wanted kind of a half in, half out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why Beatrice and Eugenie get that option, but Harry and Meghan don't. It would be
Right.
great if they could have the same thing where they have jobs, but they also are involved in royal engagements and patronages and make appearances and so on. It would be great if Harry and Meghan could do the same thing. I don't know why this is so hard, but
Right.
I do appreciate that the door is open for them if they do want to come back full time.
Yeah. Do you think
So
they
I don't know if they will take advantage of that. I think they really want normal lives. And
Mhm.
Harry in particular, you know, long before Meghan was in the picture, made it clear that he loved being in the military. He loves just being a normal person. He loves where nobody cares if he's a prince or not.
Mhm.
So it would be great if they could do that.
It would be. It would be. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Well, next it is time for us to break down the royal rules, and to help us do that this week is former royal chef Darren McGrady. Now, he was a royal chef for 15 years with Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Diana. He was in the kitchen with Prince Harry and Prince William, and he is telling us all about it. So take a look. What's your fondest memory working with Diana?
Working with Princess Diana, so many memories. I mean, seeing her and the boys interacting in the kitchen at Kensington Palace, seeing her just being a mum and how they all got on together. Dancing with the princess at Balmoral Castle. I danced with her for so many years at the Gillies Ball, dancing with her at Buckingham Palace, her holding my daughter Kelly when she was just a few weeks old. So many happy memories of the princess. Other fun memories like Princess Diana coming into the kitchen and asking what's for dinner and just sitting on top of the freezer and chatting away and talking about she'd been to see Phantom of the Opera, chatted with Michael Crawford, and then launching into things that the Queen or Fergie had just told her, and I'd be like, Your Royal Highness, don't tell me these things. I shouldn't know them. But you know, she was just so relaxed in the kitchen, and whenever she came to see us, she was just so relaxed and made us feel relaxed too.
I'm sure. What were some fun things that she liked to cook in the kitchen with Harry and William?
And the princess was an awful cook. She didn't like to cook at all in the kitchen. I think one of my fondest memories of the time she almost cooked was I used to leave food for her at weekends. I'd have the weekend off and I'd leave the food, and I'd actually, one of her favorites was stuffed bell peppers. I'd leave plastic wrap on there, a little yellow sticky note with a number 2 on, and that told her on a Saturday lunchtime she could put it in the microwave and press 2. That's how bad a chef she was. But one day she invited a friend over for lunch one Sunday, and she said, oh, let's do pasta and sauce. The friend brought the packet pasta, the jar of sauce. So the princess put the pan of water on and dropped the pasta in. They got chatting, and the pan boiled over, put out the pilot light on the gas. Well, they had lunch. Later in the afternoon, the princess came into the kitchen with some fruit. She could smell gas. It's from the pilot light. So she was so nervous, she called the Palace Fire Brigade. And I remember Monday morning, she came into the kitchen. She said, Darren, you won't believe the weekend I nearly set the whole palace on fire, which was a bit dramatic. But she said the best part was I had 12 hunky firemen all to myself.
That's amazing. I love that. That is such a great story. I know, I'm sure you know from experience having children that children can be picky eaters. So were William and Harry picky eaters when they were younger?
It was difficult. When I joined the princess, she got her life back on track. She was patron of 119 charities, working out at the gym 3 days a week, looking the best she ever did. And she conquered and confronted the bulimia. And when I joined her, she said, you take care of all the fats, I'll take care of the carbs at the gym. And so it really was difficult for me, to change all of my recipes. I had to get rid of all of the sort of the fats, the creams, the butters, and go into the healthy eating. So one of the problems was, of course, William and Harry, royal princes, but children's palates. And so they didn't want the sort of healthy quinoa and things that the princess was eating. So Wills and Harry both love roasted chicken. So that was an easy one to do on the menu, because I could roast a chicken and take off a breast, lift off the skin and slice the breast and leave it at one side of the dish. The princess would eat with the boys, and it would be Buffy style, so she'd help herself. So that, along with roast potatoes, Wills and Harry love roast potatoes, and potatoes that you bite into and all that fat runs down your chin. Not healthy at all, but so good. But for the princess, I'd actually take the potatoes, parboil them, toss them in paprika and egg white, and dry bake them. And so now she was having the carbs she wanted. Now she was having the protein, and she could have as many vegetables as she wanted. And William and Harry thought Mummy was eating the same as them.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you mentioned the roasted chicken. I think that Meghan and Harry were eating roasted chicken the night that they got engaged. I remember them saying that in there. Was that your recipe, maybe?
I'm not sure if it was my recipe or not. I think Prince Harry was in the kitchen enough to see me cook roast chicken. I'm not sure if I ever taught him how to cook it exactly, but yeah, I mean, he loved roasted chicken. Both boys did. The crispy skin on the outside and the soft and tender meat. It doesn't surprise me one bit that he cooked that comfort food.
Oh, I'm sure. So to your knowledge, are William and Harry good cooks now?
I don't know. I mean, the boys, I left the boys, after Princess Diana died. So certainly when they were younger, they weren't good cooks. They weren't interested in cooking at all. In fact, they'd only come into the kitchen to play either hide and seek or to see what was for dinner.
Well, thank you so much to Darren. If you want to find out more about him, check out his YouTube channel. The link is in our description. I love how he told stories about how Princess Diana is just awful in the kitchen.
What's a princess to do? I'm sure she doesn't have that much practice doing things like sauteing. She probably has staff who does that for her, right?
Exactly. Yes, he had so many great stories. So thank you to him. It was a lot of fun. All right, let's move on to our royal history moment of the week. And the royals are marking the 150th anniversary of the British Red Cross. Take a look.
Since 1870, the charity has been providing support to those in crisis, no matter who they are or where in the world they might be.
Now, many of the members of the royal family were actually marking this big occasion, right?
Yes, one of my favorite things was Kate Middleton. She shared a photo of her grandmother during World War II as a Red Cross volunteer, and she also noted that her great-grandmother was a Red Cross volunteer in World War I. So her family has a long history of being involved with the Red Cross. Prince Charles's great-great-great-great grandmother, Victoria, was the first patron of the Red Cross. The family has a long history of loving and supporting the work of the Red Cross. And I think it's fantastic that they are treating this like a major event, especially right now during the pandemic when so many people are relying on the good work of the Red Cross.
Right, definitely. Yeah, gotta thank those frontline workers, and they've been doing that all along, which is great.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love that Kate actually wrote letters to 150 Red Cross people who were nominated by their fellow workers who have been on the front lines. And she wrote a letter to each one thanking them, and a commemorative coin was made by the British Mint, sent to each one just for this occasion. So I think it's fantastic. Plus they have, this online exhibition happening now that anybody in the world can visit this online exhibition of 150 voices for 150 years of the Red Cross.
I love that. It's such a great way to mark the special occasion.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, before we wrap up, we have to check in on our pint-sized palace, our royal kiddos. And just like Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, Duchess Kate and Prince William decided to take a little family vacation. So KRISTEN, where did they go and what did they
went
do?
to the little Isle of Scilly. I hope I am pronouncing that right. Apologies, Brits, if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I pronounce a
Sounds
lot
good
of
to
things
me.
wrong. Blame my Minnesotan accent. So they went with the kids and just had a grand old time, you know, on the beach, riding in boats, just having a little bit of, you know, intimate, small family pleasures, nothing fancy.
Yeah.
The same thing that any family would love to do in the summertime, you know,
Right, definitely.
boats and picnics and all of those great things. And I just think it's great that they, when they want to, just can relax like the rest of us do.
Definitely a low-key family vacation, which is what everybody needs right now. And something that we all needed right now was another little picture of Prince Louis that we've never seen before, which I love.
Adorable, so adorable.
This was a really fun way for us to discover this new photo because this came in a thank you note that Kate was sending to people, right?
Yes. So people write to the royals all the time to wish them well on their birthdays, anniversaries, and whatnot. And so everybody who wrote a few months ago to Prince Louis to wish him a happy second birthday received this photo with a note on the back thanking them. And this photo is so cute. He looks, as usual, like a little accountant. I mean that in the sweetest way. With his well-combed hair and his little blue and white gingham shirt. Yes, all buttoned up like a little accountant. And just looking adorable. We've seen other pictures that may have been taken on the same day, wearing the same outfit where he had rainbow finger paints in the past, but this is the first time we've seen this photo of him just looking quite regal and professional and happy, like his little accountant self.
So true. He's just the cutest little thing. I love it so much. Well, KRISTEN, thank you so much for running down all things royals with me. It's always a pleasure.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. Thank you so much. I always love talking with you about the royals.
Definitely. It's always so much fun. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Keep commenting, keep subscribing, and we will see you next week on Royally Us.